Hello and welcome to the channel. Hope you're keeping well and all that jazz. Now I've just finished painting this, which turned out okay. So watch me paint it here and talk some random nonsense in the process. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment. So without further ado, let's do some painting. Hello, welcome to my latest video. Hope you're keeping well and all that jazz. On, I don't know, 28th of February, Wednesday of. So I'm going to be painting on this stretch canvas. It is 16 by 8 inches. As you can see, it's got an old painting on which isn't very good. So I'm going to go over it quickly and see what happens. Should be a quick video, touch wood. So anyway, I'll get my palette cam turned on and I will be back in a second. Right, back in the room. I'm going to describe what's on my palette cam and find a pointer to point with. I'll use that brush. So I've got some Payne's grey, I've got some sap green with a bit of red ochre mixed into it. It's a bit messy because I did a painting yesterday. Got some Indian yellow, I've got some phthalo blue mixed into titanium white, making our sky colour, and got some titanium white on its own. Right, I need some linseed oil, as I always forget. So I'll plonk that on now. Bit of that, and off we go. Right, I'm going to zoom my camera in. There we go. Use optical zoom rather than digital zoom, and check that I'm in focus. I forgot to do this earlier, so do it now. There we are, lovely, we're in, I think. So we'll get going. Pick a brush, any brush. I'm going to get some of this sap green with the red ochre mixed into it, a bit of linseed oil, and start doing. Yeah, let's put some stuff in the distance. Yeah, we're all keeping well. I was thinking the other day about some of the funny things that used to happen. I used to work in Summerfield, which I don't think exists anymore. For those who don't know, it was a supermarket chain in the UK. And some stuff we used to get up to were dead funny. You're talking, when was it? Late 90s, I suppose. Used to get up to all sorts of bloody stuff. Yeah, a lot of the time was because we had tannoys, you know, customer announcements and all that rubbish. We used to, you had to phone the checkout supervisor to do your announcement. So, I don't know, you'd Jeff to the warehouse or whatever, and then bing bong Jeff, what's it to the warehouse? But the checkout supervisor would do it, and you'd phone her and she'd do the announcement over the tannoy if you weren't comfortable speaking, you know, in public. So anyway, we used to do that. We used to wind her up. We used to do things like Isaac Hunt to the warehouse or whatever, and bing bong should do Isaac Hunt to the warehouse, and yeah, there'd be Mike Hunt and Isabel End and all sorts of things. Oh, you know, and she knew, you know, we'd try and wind her up, but she'd do it and hoping to get us in trouble. And sometimes we did get in trouble. I remember one time in this supermarket, I was sat in the manager's office And I wasn't a manager by any stretch of the imagination. I worked on fruit and veg aisle, and I was sat in the manager's office because he wasn't in. I think I had delusions of grandeur or whatever. And now his desk and his office chair was in front of the switchboard that controlled the whole store. You know, it had all the alarm system on. You could switch all the power off, you know, with this what do you call it, switchboard behind the desk. And I was sat there at the desk, and you know, I was sat there with my hands behind me back, just relaxing, leaning back on this bloody office chair with the desk and the switchboard just behind my head. And I slipped and fell backwards. I landed on this bloody control panel, and it switched all the bloody power off the whole building. Oh shit! So I started, you know, pulling buttons and twisting switches, just try and get the power back on. You know, you turn power off, it goes, it makes that noise. It did that, and it was pitch black. So I thought, oh Christ! So and turned it all back on again. I thought, bloody hell, I think I've got away with that. So I thought, that made myself scarce. So I legged it out of the manager's office and onto the shop floor, and everyone were looking round like, what the hell was that? Because, you know, the lights had all gone out and everything. And that was fine, but the trouble was I'd knocked all the checkout system out. The whole shebang had gone. So none of them were working at all. All, you know, reboot all the checkouts, not a single one worked, and we had to close for the rest of the day. Someone had to come from Bristol or whatever to, you know, a technician to reset all the bloody checkouts. That must have lost hundreds that day because of me. I never got caught. I've never spoken about it. It's the first time. And another thing we didn't get caught for was me and a mate of mine. We worked on the same department. We were both fruit and veg, and we was bloody doing stuff. And it was in the manager's office again. Again, the manager was out, and there was a big red button on this bloody switchboard, and we always wondered what the hell it was. And I think I was doing my usual, sat in the manager's office pretending to be the manager, and bear with me, almost lost my train of thought then. And there was this big red button, and we were daring each other. So, right, you know, he said, press that button and see what happens. So, no, you press that button and see what happens. So this was to and throwing, you know, you press it, I'm not flipping pressing it, you press it. So that was that, but one of us pressed it. It was probably me actually, it was normally me. And it set the alarms off for this shop, you know, going, you know, a bell goes, oh Christ, the fire alarm or whatever. Oh bloody hell. And we couldn't switch it back off again, trying to pull the switch out and everything like that. And it just wouldn't bloody stop, this alarm going. For this, you know, it was a big supermarket, you know, flagship store. And it just wouldn't stop. So we ran and hid. Now we hid in the toilets. You know, it was the gents' toilets. So we just picked a cubicle each and hid. And we'd pretend that, you know, we're going to the toilet, whatever. So we gave it a bit of time, and by which time the alarm had stopped, which was good, and we, someone came into the toilets, and we hid and giggled and they disappeared, and it'd been like that. So we eventually summed up the courage to go out, and what the plan was, we were going to grab something, a trolley or whatever, to make it look like we were working, because we were quite crafty. So we went out, and you opened these doors into the store, and it was deserted. I mean deserted. There were abandoned trolleys everywhere. Everyone had just abandoned the shop and were outside in the car park, probably wondering where the hell we were. And again, they'd have lost hundreds. Oh, funny. Used to get up to all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it was not bad job at that age, in your late teens or whatever. Right, anyway, I get some, might get some medium yellow, just a little bit on my palette. So yeah, as I've been banging on, got a bit of a painting, which isn't too bad. It'll do for me. Bit of a sky on the go. Give my brush a quick wipe. Yeah, I was the first aider for the shop. So, sometimes you get called first aider to, I don't know, health and beauty aisle or whatever, and you'd go and respond and see what the problem was. And this occasion, first aider to the some aisle, I don't know, the drinks aisle or whatever it was. And I turned up. You have a rudimentary first aid kit, so you get the first aid kit and you show up to find out what the problem is. And there was a screaming kid, this child, not very happy at all at what was going on. And it turned out he'd been running and he ran into a trolley. And I said, well, let's have a look here. Turned around, turned his face round, and there was a perfect grid of squares on his face. He'd run headlong into the bloody trolley. Funny, so to deal with that, try not to laugh. Right, let's have a... This is coming on not too bad. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Right, just darken off down here a little. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it'll do. It's a painting. It's something to do, ultimately. Right, let's add a bit more. A bit of Indian yellow and a bit of white again. Just into that sky. Just there. Not bad. And a bit up there as well. It'll do nicely, just about. get my palette knife, just put some medium yellow on, just over there. Scratches and scrapes. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's a painting, as I say. Might just sort that bit out, just go like that. Don't know where it is, could be somewhere in England that I've visited, stuck in my memory. Put something there as well. There we go. Right, we're just about there, I think. Very nearly. It's not perfect, as I say, but it'll do. It's a painting. Well, I'll get some titanium white again, just to go like that. Just put a bit of definition on them clouds. Just smudge it a little on my finger. A bit up there as well. Again, smudge from my finger. Might just get a bit more of that colour, just sort that bit out. Whoops, I've just picked up a bit of greeny brown there, but that doesn't matter too much. I wonder, let's have a think, just grab some blue maybe, just put it there. Just to lighten the distance a bit, which seems to work alright. Lovely, just gives it a bit of distance. I think we're just about there really. I'm not going to over egg the pudding. Yeah, when I worked in the supermarket, my nickname was Tony, because there was one day I was working on, it was the bloody dairy aisle, and I don't know if you've seen, they were called pump trucks, which are basically two forks with a handle on your pump, and you lift a big pallet up. Now, you know, a pallet weighing about a ton, you know, full of butter, which weighs a decent bloody amount, you know. And I was working on this pallet, and one of my colleagues said, "Oh, can I borrow your pump truck?" I said, "Yeah, sure, go for it." And he pressed the handle to release these forks and drop the pallet down, and it landed on my bloody foot. And he went, "Oh shit," and he was pumping it like mad to try and lift it up off my foot. Jesus Christ, it hurt. I must have broken it, but I carried on working. Oh, no, fine, just carry on, you know, which you did back then. It didn't matter. But yeah, bloody hurt. So yeah, Tony, it's toe, you know, foot, whatever. That's where it all comes from. That was my nickname for quite a while. Right, we are just about there. Short and sweet. Let's put a bit more lightness on there like that. I think that is it. I remember one time, again it was bloody butter aisle, so you're dealing with very heavy pallets. And this one time, there was a bloke working on the deli. You could hear him drilling, and you know, his maintenance guy come to work on the deli. From, you know, he came a good distance away, you know, from bloody Manchester or something like that. And he were there drilling away, and the shop was shut at this time, you know, it was early in the morning. And to power his drill, he had a cable going across the floor. I thought, bloody hell, I'm in a rush, it'll be alright. So I was pulling this great big load of butter behind me on a pallet. I thought, yeah, it'll do it. I was only young at the time, I didn't bloody think. Mind you, I don't bloody think now, but... So, I thought, yeah, it'll be alright, that. I went over this cable, and of course, sawed the cable in half with this pallet and the wheels. Oh shit, you could hear his drill go and die. Oh fuck hell. So I hid. I never got caught, I'm just bloody hid. But the poor bloke had to go all the way back to, well, from whence he came, you know, I think he, you know, Manchester or wherever, to get a new drill. So some funny stuff. You know, crazy things used to happen, mostly because of me not thinking. Right, I think we're there, you know. Might just call that a day. It's not too bad. It's not perfect, but it's a painting and I've enjoyed it. Which is what we like. Let's add a bit more blue just there. But other than that, I think we're done. So thank you so much for watching. It does mean a lot. And don't forget to subscribe and share and comment and everything else like that. And as well as YouTube, I'm on Facebook, Instagram and jonkidd.co.uk. Next video, I'm going to be painting on wood, so it'll be quite interesting. I've managed to acquire a few sheets of wood to paint on, so I'm going to have a go at that next time. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.